Hi friends, good day. Today, let us look into funny, inspirational and motivational quotes on war. Before we go in,
Please subscribe for more videos. Click the bell icon for updates.
let me read these inspirational and motivational quotes on war for you. It is not enough to win a war. It is more important to organize the peace. By Aristotle. When music and courtesy are better understood and appreciated, there will be no war. By Confucius. Never think that war, no matter how necessary nor how justified, is not a crime. By Ernest Hemingway. In times of war, when truth is so precious, it must be attended by a bodyguard of lies. By Winston Churchill. It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men lived. By Patton Jr. The choice is not between violence and non-violence, but between non-violence and non-existence. By Martin Luther King Jr. To wage a war for purely moral reason is as absurd as to ravish a woman for a purely moral reason. By Henry Louis Mencken. The true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because he loves what is behind him. By G.K. Chesterton. I have a scheme for stopping war. No nation is allowed to enter a war till they have paid for the last one. By Will Rogers. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. By Albert Einstein. War is an instrument entirely inefficient towards redressing wrong and multiplies instead of indemnifying losses. By Thomas Jefferson. War is a game that is played with a smile. If you can't smile, grin. If you can't grin, keep out of the way till you can. By Winston Churchill. Give me an army of West Point graduates and I will win a battle. Give me a handful of Texas Aggies and I will win the war. By General George S. Patton. Those who can win a war, can rarely make a good peace, and those who could make a good peace would never have won the war. By Winston Churchill. As long as war is regarded as wicked, it will always have its fascination. When it is looked upon as vulgar, it will cease to be popular. By Oscar Wilde. Once we have a war, there is only one thing to do. It must be won. For defeat brings worse things than any that can never happen in war. By Ernest Hemingway. We used to wonder where war lived. What was that made it so vile? And now we realize that we know where it lives, that it is inside ourselves. By Albert Camus. I am not only a pacifist, but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. By Albert Einstein. He who sweats more in peace bleeds less in war. A proverb. Wars do not end wars any more than an extraordinarily large conflagration does away with the fire hazard. By Henry Ford. Americans play to win at all times. I wouldn't give a hoot and hell for a man who lost and laughed. That's why Americans have never lost nor ever lose a war. By General George S. Patton. No catalogue of horrors ever kept men from war. Before the war, you always think that it's not you that dies, but you will die, brother, if you go to it long enough. By Ernest Hemingway. War will disappear only when men shall take no part whatever in violence and shall be ready to suffer every persecution that their abstention will bring them. It is the only way to abolish war. By Anatole France. You ask, what is our aim? I can answer in one word. It is victory. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory however long and hard the road may be. For without victory, there is no survival. By Winston Churchill. All war must be just the killing of strangers against whom you feel no personal animosity. Strangers whom, in other circumstances, you would help if you found them in trouble and who would help you if you needed it. By Mark Twain. Nations have recently been led to borrow billions of war. No nation have ever borrowed largely for education. No nation is rich enough to pay for both war and civilization. We must make our choice. We cannot have both. By Abraham Flexner. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and do share.